Hey guys, welcome back to MoMo on the Move. Sorry if I sound a little off right now. I lost my voice and I just got it back not too long ago, literally like an hour ago. But I couldn't wait to do this podcast because it is a very special one for me. January 4th marks my 1 year anniversary out here in LA. And also, this is my first solo podcast ever, so it's the big one. And I'm calling it 25 because your girl just turned 25 not too long ago on December 22nd, Capricorn gang. Shout out to my fellow Cappies. It's our season, baby. Let's get it. But to be honest, I was low-key dreading turning 25 because everybody's like, after 25, it's just downhill. And you're just another year closer to 30. And you know what? You're almost off your parents' insurance. Like, time's ticking. Time is ticking. And honestly, it's a huge milestone that I've made it to 25, some may say, after all the crazy adventures and sticky situations that I put myself through. Whew. But I'm glad I've lived to tell the tales, and here I am. But in all seriousness, I wanted to do this podcast as a sort of self-reflection. And, I wanted to take a step back and look at all the things that I've done this past year, all the things that I've accomplished, all the things that I went through, good and bad. And, 24 was probably my best year yet. There was a lot of growth and self-discovery on my cross-country move. There was a lot of obstacles that I had to overcome that made me question why I even left New York, why I'm still here, and why I'm doing what I'm doing. And LA was always something that I dreamed of as a kid, but I never thought it was going to happen. Or I did know it was going to happen, I just didn't know when. And it just creeped up on me, and here I am. But for those of you who don't know me or haven't had a conversation with me and know why I came out here. I'm an actor. I've always been in love with the entertainment industry, acting, producing, directing, all that fun stuff. So what better place than LA? And after college, I kind of just felt like I was in limbo in New York. I was working 4 jobs, none of which were relating to my acting career. They were all flexible jobs, so I could have an acting career, but with what time? So I just felt kind of stuck. I was like a nomad in New York, hopping around from Queens to Long Island, because Long Island's where my family was, Queens is where my friends was, and then work was in the city. So Queens was kind of like my middle ground. But yeah, one day I just decided I had no ties to anyone or anything. I had no commitments, and I was just like, you know what? Now is the time. Now is the time to go to LA, start fresh in January. So in October, I bought my one-way ticket. First of all, I never bought a one-way like that, with no idea of when I was coming back or if I was coming back. So I called my uncle who lives out here in LA in the Valley, and I hadn't seen him in 10 years. This is my dad's side of the family, my Salvadorian side. I hadn't seen them in 10 years. So I was like, whoa, this is going to be awesome to rekindle that relationship. I called him and I was like, yo, I want to come out there. Da-da-da-da-da. Is it cool? if I stay with you for a while? He's like, yeah, of course. Mi casa, su casa. Of course, it's family. And luckily I was able to, crash with them for 6 months. And I was sharing a bedroom with my cousin Jasmine. Shout out to you. Thank you. I know it wasn't easy to put up with. So they provided a cushion for me out here. And from then on, it was there was a lot of emotions my last few months in New York with my friends and my family. But I had to peel the Band-Aid off, and sometimes to get to where you need to be, you got to make that sacrifice, and it's not always going to be easy, but shit, I did it. And honestly, it was a decision I do not regret at all. It has been a great year, and upon my arrival, I just, came back from New York for the holidays. I was cleaning out my closet and I found a book that I wrote a list of what to do in California on January 4th, 2019. And I read it and I was like, oh shit. Because I don't know, at the end of the year, you kind of just want to think back, like, what did I do? And honestly, I did a lot apparently. So just to go through the list with you, first of all, let me just say I had no idea what I was going to do when I came out here to LA. My only plan was to buy a car because without a car, I'm useless in California. Like, without a car, you ain't getting anywhere. So that was my only thing that I kind of saved up for in New York, and I didn't save up for anything crazy. I got my cute little Toyota Solera 2000, it's mad cute, a little sports car. But it was great to, get that shit on my own, without my parents' money. It was all me, but without my uncle, I probably would have picked a shitty car that would have broke down on me in the first week because I just don't know. I don't know. I've never bought a car before. But the list I'll go through with you guys. And obviously the first one on the list was to buy a car. I did that within the first week thanks to my uncle. We were looking on Craigslist. We were looking everywhere. He was coming out with me to scout the cars and really see if I was getting gypped or if it was a good deal. And honestly, we scored a great deal, great price, great condition. I haven't had any troubles with the car. Minor troubles, but those were my fault. But we got Sterling and Thor for that. Research jobs and apply. My first job was a Shock Tequila Grill, and Shock Tequila Grill, I was bartending and serving out there, and I met some pretty awesome people that are still with me today because I don't work there anymore. I now work at Rebel Republic in Hermosa Beach. Come through. But yeah, I met Amina, Veronica, and Sanchez. And honestly, thank God I met Amina and Veronica because my friends in New York really set the bar. There's some real ones. Those are my best friends forever. But thank God I was able to find some real ones out here in a crowd full of fake-ass people. Yeah, and then Sanchez, hello, he's the reason why I'm boxing. Shout out Team Sanchez all day, baby. He's the reason why I am in shape. He's the reason why I'm disciplined. He's the reason why I fell in love with the sport and am now working on a script relating to the sport. So, thank you. All right, what else do we have on this list? Start a podcast. Hey, here we are now, MoMo on the move. Shout out to Christian again on Always for this sign. And, starting a podcast was something that I wanted to do back in New York after being on Rizzo on the Move and Path of the Jaguar. Yeah. My friend's podcast that I was on, and they were always like, you know what? You got to get your own. Get it popping, get it started. And I was like, yeah, I'll do that. I just didn't know when because I was a nomad in New York. I didn't have my own place. I didn't know how to go about doing it. And I was like, in my mind, I thought I had to have my own place to do a podcast. And here I am. My whole fucking podcast is called Being on the Move. So that was just an excuse that I had in my head. I could have started it anywhere. And all I do is use my phone. And now I have a tripod and a ring light. But honestly, I could just hold my phone and just vlog my life away. But when I came out here, I also didn't have my own space. I was like, yeah, I'll start it when I get to California. And got to California, didn't have my own place, was living in my uncle's house and sharing a bed with my cousin Jasmine. But then I met Sterling in Philly at my first background gig in LA, in my first or second week out here. And I told them about my, dream to start a podcast. And they were just like, bro, Sterling was like, you could just use my apartment. My roommate's never here, and I have a dope setup. Here's the keys. And I was like, oh, I lit. And they were my first guests, Philly and Sterling. If you haven't checked that one out, go check it out. It's a good one. It's on dating in LA. But yeah, what else do we have on this list? travel to Hawaii, New York. Did that both. Couldn't wait to go back to New York. That was great. But I was glad to, realize that I didn't want to move back. At least not yet. I don't want to move back to New York until I can comfortably live in New York, because shit's expensive. Not that it isn't expensive out here in LA, but like for me, I found that the cost of living was way cheaper, or like you get a bigger bang for your buck just because there's more space out here. Instead of like, because of what I pay, I would be living in a closet in New York. But I came to the realization that I wasn't done wreaking my havoc out here in LA. The ball was just rolling, and I couldn't wait to go back, to continue the work that I started out here. So that was a good trip. It's always a good trip going back to New York. And then Hawaii, that shit was lit. We got to visit my boy Lewis out there, who's in the Army. Shout out to you. He was also my first friend to visit me out here in LA, which was awesome. He's visited me twice now. And Hawaii was just surreal. That place is literally paradise. Like, gorgeous. If you haven't gone, go. I went to Honolulu. Go there. Have the malasadas. Best donuts you'll have in your life. Yeah, I'm still a little bit under the weather. Work on reel, work on website, look for agents. Yeah. All work in progress. Still working on that. Have my own place by the end of the year. Here we are. My goal was to like leave my uncle's place within 6 to 8 months of being in LA, and I did it. I signed my lease for August, started my lease in August, and here for another year and a half or however long they'll keep me here, because I'll be getting noise complaints throwing these Friendsgivings and ugly sweater parties out here. But honestly, I also have an amazing roommate that made getting my own apartment an easy task. I was lucky enough to not have to like scout through weird ass roommates and like live through that. I was lucky enough to find Thor when I did, and he told me when his roommate was moving out, and I was like, he's like, "Are you ready to move out?" And I was like, "Hell yeah." And it was super cheap, right by the airports, close to the beaches. Couldn't ask for anything better. So aside from reflecting on all the things I've done and accomplished this past year, I just want to take the time to thank everyone who has supported me and helped me out throughout this journey. It wasn't an easy one, but you guys made it seem like it was. All my family in New York, all my family in LA, thank you. Without you, I literally don't know what I would have done. I would not have gone this far without you guys, that's for damn sure. So thank you. You guys know who you are. Also, I would like to set some new goals for 2020. One, become SAG eligible. SAG is the union for actors. 2, complete my script that I've been working on, my boxing one that I mentioned before. And 3, travel with the Only Love Foundation and help out in Africa. So if you haven't seen my latest podcast with Craig and Rizzo, you'll learn about it there. But in short, Craig set up the Only Love Foundation to help underdeveloped communities in Africa. Like, he's helping build schools there. He's helping grow food and showing them how to do the whole thing. Like, he's doing big things, and it's not going to just only be in Africa. It's going to be in other parts that need that help. And last but not least, I just want to spread some words of motivation or momovation for those listening out there, and just tell everybody to, make 2020 their year. I know you've heard it before, but I'm saying it again. And, I hope that listening to my journey can inspire others who maybe are stuck and don't know when the right time is. And in short, you really don't know when the right time is, but you'll never know until you actually go for it and just peel the Band-Aid off and take that leap. Because if you don't, someone else will. And you know what? Don't let that someone else take it from you. Be that person. Be your own hero. Go after what you want. It's not going to be easy, but as long as you have your head and your heart in the right place, and you're consistently working at getting to your end goal, there's no way that you won't achieve it. And if you believe you can achieve, and I hope that this episode has inspired you guys to continue to chase your dream and continue to get after it. And I hope you guys all have an amazing 2020. And if you want, comment your 2020 goals below on the YouTube video. And yeah, have a great year, everybody. Catch you next time on MoMo on the Move. Peace.